Have you ever stood up and couldn't walk?
Wait a minute, what?
Have you ever reached for something that you couldn't get?
Sure.
Why? Not because it was out of it was too far for you and you couldn't reach it.
What was it?
It was because you had CP. You know what CP is?
Yeah, Charlotte's problem.
Oh, it's a lot of other people's problem too.
No, just Charlotte's.
Just Charlotte's. All right, well, we want to know about Charlotte's problem.
That's my problem. Why I gotta tell you about my goddamn problem?
You don't have to tell me. All you gotta do is hit the damn button. And that will tell them.
But then that's self-snitching on myself while I like snitching out.
Yes, because you want the people to know that you don't know them people. I got rid of them yesterday. Had nothing to do with them. But what? They tried to attach themselves to me.
I know.
And what happened? I can't get rid of them.
So you make me do a video about some shit I don't give fucks about.
Oh, well, yeah, you do.
Why?
Because it's you. It's a part of you. It's a part of millions of other people. Millions of other people have a part in this.
You know how you should have...
Some not as much as others.
Hey, shut up. You know how I should have introed this video?
Like what?
Like Minnie Lopez said. I gave up all my wonderful years. I need to get a new phone. Y'all need to pay me. I need some damn sponsorship.
I gave up all my...
Hold on, wait. See what I'm saying? You got to wait until the shit lead in. You know how, like, the phone fucks up and then I repeat the joke one more time before I get to the punchline? Because I need more time to hit this button and I ain't got nobody on the left side. Remember that other Michael Jackson video we did? And he was like, Eric, what you gonna do? Because Eric was in the back fucking up. And he couldn't fuck up the show. But, let's rewind that like Missy. You know how you should have introed this video, right?
And how's that?
You should have been like, I gave up all my wonderful years for this.
What is cerebral palsy? The definition of cerebral palsy, also called CP, is a collection of disorders caused by abnormal brain development or damage to the brain around the time of birth or early in life. Cerebral palsy is a
also known as Charlotte's problem.
Disability, meaning it affects a person's ability to move and maintain balance and posture.
When a person and a family hears that information for the first time, that can be devastating. Then from there, it's time to kind of pick up the pieces and say, okay, this is this.
Have me walking around life all afflicted and less elegant. The word today is elegance over some baby butter lettuce. We're not going to use plastic flowers, hustle man. Sorry, I don't mean to intercept, but...
Situation, now what are we going to do about that? So when families come to see me or me as part of a multidisciplinary clinic, then we can say, okay, you know that you have cerebral palsy. Let's make sure that you understand what cerebral palsy means.
What causes cerebral palsy? Some causes of cerebral palsy include bleeding in the brain, infections of the brain, including meningitis or encephalitis, seizures at birth or in the first month, certain genetic conditions. In some cases, healthcare providers are unable to determine the cause of a child's cerebral palsy.
In the beginning, cerebral palsy is diagnosed primarily based on the physical findings, but we know that cerebral palsy is a diagnosis that relates to some problem with the brain and some injury that happened to the brain or some abnormality with how or difference in how the brain was formed.
CP is a permanent condition, but it's not progressive. That means that the brain damage can't be reversed, but it won't get worse. But abnormal muscle tone or motor control can shorten muscles and deform bones. Early intervention and appropriate treatment can help ease symptoms and improve a child's abilities.
The injury that occurs early in life can cause effects on many different functions for the person. So that could be communication, it could be eating, it could be...
Again, I repeat, the word today is elegance. And Charlotte's problem makes me less elegant. And even when I'm laying on a bed of baby butter lettuce, I'm less than elegant.
Their mobility, could be problems with seizures, learning. So all of those things can be present, or maybe only a few of them.
An average of 1 in 320.
Oh, really, white man? So you just said all that to say the obvious. It could be over there, but it could not be. Really?
Wow.
Really? Oh, mothers.
Wow.
3 children in the U.S. have CP, making it the most common motor disability in childhood.
You take a patient that has a mild form of cerebral palsy, if we were just to say, oh, your child has cerebral palsy, a lot of times they think their child's going to be sitting in a bed when they're an adult and not be able to do anything for themselves. And so...
That's silly.
No, the hell it ain't. Because you sitting over there looking at me sitting in the bed, not being able to do a goddamn thing, and I'm 33.
Yeah, but they don't mean
I
like
didn't
that.
ask you.
When you counsel a family about a diagnosis and a disability, you need to anticipate what their thoughts and feelings are so that you can kind of counsel them and not overburden them or overworrying them and be as accurate as you can.
Types of cerebral palsy. There are different types of cerebral palsy, depending on which
Liar. Only the ones that Charlotte had.
part of the brain is affected. A person can have mild cerebral palsy or may have a more complex form.
Ain't shit about this shit mild, you lying bitch. You know what, people?
It is to us. You don't have it.
That's what I'm saying.
So it's mine, huh?
I can't stand niggas. Can't do it. Niggas just be lying at their blackness.
Tonight, Houston Police Chief Art Acevedo is offering a
See,
new
I'm
reward.
this line out of its blackness. See, that's why y'all need to go to my Patreon and give me some money. I ain't gonna go through this bullshit, okay?
So you can get some new so you can get some equipment.
Spastic
not no
cerebral
new
palsy.
equipment.
Yeah, right.
Finally, there's ataxic cerebral palsy.
We're gonna make it a little bit,
So of nerve impulses and is characterized by having down.
a little bit more.
Expo.
A little bit more.
Spastic cerebral palsy that affects the entire body is called quadriplegic cerebral palsy.
When we treat children with cerebral palsy, we try to analyze, what the issues are. And so if
Liar.
with cerebral palsy, spasticity is one big issue. Weakness is another big issue.
Another form of
Mama ain't raised no bitch. I ain't weak. Fuck that.
CP is called dyskinetic cerebral palsy. Dyskinetic cerebral palsy is caused by damage to the basal ganglia.
Guess I got that too, because I'm about to hang up on some niggas. You are disconnected.
Which causes uncontrollable movements. Damage to the cerebellum causes a form of CP called ataxic cerebral palsy. Ataxic cerebral palsy
Means that Charlotte's scared of taxes. Fuck you niggas.
causes poor balance and problems with coordination. Mixed cerebral palsy is a combination of 2 or more types. It's a
Mixed cerebral palsy.
Yes,
What
mix.
is that, ablation in a wheelchair?
Mm-mm-mm.
Come on, mommy. That was funnier than that. What the hell?
That's cerebral palsy-ish.
I'm like, you got cerebral palsy? I ain't got no pulse on my cereal, nigga. What are you talking about?
Ish.
associated with damage to multiple areas of the brain.
One of my jobs as a neurologist and taking care of children with cerebral palsy is doing my best to understand why a child has cerebral palsy. I can help the family understand what is going on with their child now.
Okay, well, bitch, we listening. Now you ain't saying nothing. Shit, you can help people figure out what's wrong with him. I'm sitting there with my family. We want to know what's wrong with me. Go ahead.
We know what's wrong with him.
What the hell you know?
Yeah.
What the hell you know?
And it ain't that.
No, it stands for your name, because you don't do letters. Your name is Charlotte's problem. See all the CPs in this world?
And what things to look for in the future.
Well, bitch, I'm sitting in front of a mirror. What the fuck am I looking for?
Not that.
Exactly. Exactamundo.
It feels so good. It feels so good. It feels so good.
Y'all hear these two commercials? I guess not, because y'all didn't pay me not to have them.
It's pretty well established that your brain's really important. It's like if your body was a computer, your brain's the mainframe. It controls everything, whether you're aware of it or not. Cerebral palsy means brain disease causing paralysis. So essentially, cerebral palsy refers to damage to the brain that causes loss of muscle control. Like, for example, if the cerebellum was damaged, patients might have issues with fine motor skills, like writing or typing. That being said, though, cerebral palsy is a broad umbrella term to basically cover a wide variety of issues, since ultimately the muscles affected and severity depends on which part of the mainframe's been affected, right? Cerebral palsy is considered a neurodevelopmental disease, meaning that something happens to an area in the brain during its initial development, which is an extremely sensitive period. If that area doesn't develop right, then it can't carry out whatever function it's supposed to control. Now, what's this vague something that can happen, though? Well, I said something because there's such a wide variety of causes. The majority of cerebral palsy cases are thought to happen before birth or prenatally, which typically means the underlying cause is really hard to pin down. Exposure to radiation or infection during fetal development can cause cerebral palsy. Hypoxia to the developing fetus has been linked as well. In this case, the developing brain doesn't get enough oxygen, potentially from problems like the placenta not being able to supply enough oxygen and nutrients. Cerebral palsy doesn't...
Excuse me, I got a couple questions for you. Going to this white boy right here.
Yeah.
Was you around any nuclear blast?
No.
You sure about that?
Positive.
Because I thought about it had radiation.
No.
Okay, you don't think so?
No, I'm positive I wasn't around the blast.
Okay, I'm just making sure that you know. Like sometimes when you around big blast, people forget that it was around it.
I don't think that's some people forget.
Okay. So there was no problem with your placenta.
No, my placenta was fine.
So basically, what you saying that they lied? I think so.
No, what I'm saying is, I didn't have those things.
Okay, I just had to check.
No,
have to happen prenatally, though. And some postnatal cases are things like head trauma, or again, an infection, or a period...
Did you catch any herpes? Anything like that infection?
No.
Okay, would you dropped on your head while I was pregnant?
No, I wouldn't drop in my head while you were
Because you know
pregnant.
they said head injury, so I was thinking I could have caught that. Because, okay, I believe you. I'm just saying, I'm just checking, I'm just saying.
of oxygen deprivation. Although most
I'm
cases...
sorry, I forgot about that. When did you have to be strangled?